Today I'm going to be going through Raphael's myth event story. I used the speed option to go through the story chapters in this event just so I could get the 4-star card, but I didn't actually read any of the chapters, so I'm going to do that now. So let's start with chapter 1 of Lost Echoes. For this fleeting summer, Ramiro shall once again celebrate the sea's gratis festival after many years. Grand ceremonies and festivities are in order. This event isn't often held, and it lasts for more than half a month. Affected by the atmosphere, I occasionally disguise myself so I can stroll through the city for peace of mind. One day, I hear a rumor from an old fisherman while I pass through the harbor. Long ago, before the sea god fell into a deep slumber, he left behind a mysterious blessing. Did you actually leave behind a blessing? Is it the pearls from the deep that are mentioned in the Tome of the Sea God? Try to remember what happened before you fell asleep. There might be a clue that will help you reclaim your power. Are you even listening to me?
No, I am not.
Raphael, who's resting his head on my lap, lazily opens his eyes. I let out a small huff and tug at a strand of his hair. I know you're going to say I'm too hasty in believing unverifiable rumors and myths again.
Your presumption is incorrect. I did leave something behind. But you can't call it a blessing. It could be a calamity. Finding it might trigger unpredictable consequences.
You're just making me more curious about what it actually is.
Think about it. When I fell asleep, Ramiro wasn't founded yet. Should it still exist, where would you even begin your search?
I'm not sure. I've unconsciously braided part of his hair. I undo it before Raphael notices. But why did you leave behind a blessing? What were you thinking at the time?
Does it matter?
Of course, knowing your past is one of the essential steps to understanding you and falling in love with you.
Ah, I see.
Suddenly he touches the back of my neck before pushing down, and just like that, our noses are almost touching in this minuscule, delicate distance.
Give me an answer first. How much longer must I wait for you to fall in love with me?
His eyes hold a curiosity that's half genuine and half playful. Their colors, reminiscent of the sunset, gently shift in the light reflected from the rippling water. If we find the blessing, I might be so touched that
And if I don't accompany you?
It went ahead on its own again. If we find the blessing, I might be so touched that I'll be absolutely smitten with you.
And if I don't accompany you, you'll always have this grievance? You'll always have this grievance?
I wouldn't go that far. However, my affection for you would be certainly... I wouldn't go that far. However, my affection for you would certainly decrease by a minuscule... Ow! Raphael flicks my forehead. Then he sits up and unceremoniously pinches my cheek.
In this world, you are the only one who dare to threaten the sea god.
I understand. That's how you say yes. Am I mistaken? But as Raphael said, the world has undergone countless transformations after he fell into a deep slumber. Seas have become mountains, and what were once valleys are now oceans. We said we searched for the blessing he left behind, but I don't know where to even begin.
Where should our starting point be?
It's your blessing we're looking for. Are you just going to let me lead the way? He takes 2 steps forward and observes Ramiro in its entirety. The bustling city district lies on one side, while roads stretch toward the vividly picturesque wilderness on the other.
If we go to the city, we could get some fried shrimp cakes that are freshly made. But we have clear skies today. Taking a stroll through nature is also a good choice. Truly, we have to make a difficult decision.
You and I have different understandings of the word difficult. I muttered quietly. Then I realized we're making a gamble regardless. We might as well go with the foil. Alright, let's go this way first. Okay, let's go on to chapter 2. At the shore, I find a flat spot to sit down and rest. Rafayel, however, doesn't follow suit. He stares at something in the distance.
Why is there a ship here?
An old sea vessel has been washed ashore. Its hull has long since been eroded beyond repair by sea winds and ocean currents. I don't know where it came from, but my mother, the previous castellan of Ramiro, who brought me back, once said, "It might be from a distant era. People who followed the sea god's guidance left it behind as they departed for a distant voyage."
The sea god's guidance? Why do Ramiro's denizens always invoke my name whenever they act?
It's because they fear an uncertain future. They need the sea god to give themselves courage. Unfortunately, they weren't successful.
To set sail with guidance that is uncertain, lonely courage deserves recognition. You did the same thing, did you not? You knew nothing of my identity, yet you took a leap of faith and jumped into the sea to find me.
I'll take that as a compliment. Do you think this guidance is your blessing?
Using my divine gaze given to me by my godly authority, I only see your wish to look for clues in that old ship. Look at that damaged hull. Even if you are correct in assuming something was left behind, the sea would have already claimed it eons ago, or someone picked it up. However, if you want to hunt for treasure, then hunt for treasure we shall.
What started as a jest of an adventure unexpectedly led us to find bits and pieces of treasure. I'm cleaning a piece of iron sheet with seawater when I turn my head. Raphael is holding the remains of a letter opener's handle. He's deep in thought. That look on your face, has a memory related to the blessing resurfaced?
Of course not. This pattern consists of pemphis petals, 8 water droplets, and a conch shell spiral.
I lean in to get a closer look, but the object is so corroded that I can't make out anything. You can see all that? Your divine gaze is godly in every sense of the word, huh?
This pattern is rare in Lemuria. It has only appeared in a few places.
A moment passes, but Raphael turns his gaze toward the pitch-black sea with its massive whale-like waves.
One of my belongings could be under these waters.
Are you serious?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. It might not even be the blessing you seek.
This is already a great boon. Who cares whether it's a blessing or not? Let's hurry. Just as I'm about to take a step, Raphael catches me by the nape and pulls me back.
What's the rush? Are you going to abandon all these treasures you found?
Okay, that one was pretty quick. So now we just have one more left. Chapter 3.
It should be somewhere around here.
Raphael leads me to stand under a tall coral structure. With a graceful movement of his fingertips, the sand on the seabed begins to ripple like water. Seconds pass, and a box encrusted with barnacles emerges. It's carried by the current until it floats gently into Raphael's hand. A conch shell? Inside the opened box rests a blue conch. Its surface gleams with a luster as clear as flowing seawater.
This is a conch that can store sounds. Inside it should be my voice from a time before I fell asleep. Do you recall the pattern you saw earlier? The spiral shell motif originated from this conch.
That's how you remembered you left this conch behind?
It was speculation at best.
Raphael traces the patterns on the shell, and a translucent bubble slowly emerges from its opening. The surrounding light seemingly dims as the bubble floats between us. It emits a soft blue glow reminiscent of moonlight. I never expected the first word to be my name. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Raphael is trying to destroy the bubble. Stifling my laughter, I quickly stop him. You can't do that. I want to hear it. Reluctant, Raphael stops as the voice from the conch intermittently continues to speak.
The blessing of the deep sea shall follow the cycle of the tides to be by your side. It shall guide your path forward and accompany you on your journey home. When that time comes, remember Lemuria in all of its grandeur for me.
There's a muffled thud, and Raphael's voice is abruptly silenced.
I left a blessing behind after all. Why aren't you saying anything? The sea god's blessing was meant for you. I thought you'd be more excited.
I am, but you... It sounded like you were in pain. Why did you choose to leave behind that blessing for me?
I don't remember.
He hasn't given me a definitive answer and places the conch in my hand.
Even if there were regrets in the past, they've already been compensated by our present. After all, you're right here, by my side.
I slowly nod. Although there's still a hint of melancholy in my heart, I can't help but smile. You were genuinely fond of me back then.
My affection isn't only limited to the past. I can say I like you a lot at this very moment.
Hearing a straightforward response from him catches me off guard.
Shall we find a conch and leave behind a blessing for our future selves? Then your future self will have no doubts about my feelings for you at this moment. The problem is that I don't know where these conches can be found now. We'll need the Fantasia shark to be our guide.
That sounds great, but I don't need to wait. I take his outstretched hand and gently move it back and forth. Regardless of whether it's the past or the present, I've never doubted your heart. Alright, so that was the event story. I'm gonna go through some of these messages real quick just to document them in this video. Raphael, what are your thoughts on this leather cloak? It could suffocate a shark. And this linen shirt? Rough enough to scrape my scales. Seize this at once. Stop trying to dress me up. I'm worried that you'll get cold. You barely wear garments. As it is. Why don't you look around? If you find any clothes you like, I'll buy them for you. No need. Humans have a strange habit of wrapping themselves in what basically amounts to fishing nets. I shan't partake in that. Give me your hand if you're concerned about me freezing to death. Your warmth is all I need. Why are those humans hammering away at that? It's a small bell tower. If I recall correctly, I commissioned it for a certain year's sea gratis festival. I oversaw its construction myself. Temples, bell towers, you've built many facilities in my name. Constructing a few for my groom is reasonable, no? Wait, what are you doing? The structures my bride built for me are damaged. I shall help with the repairs. The glass from the stained window is broken. Come, I need your aid. And then for the mini game, we just have to put the pieces where they're supposed to go. I did way better before. I don't know why I'm taking so long this time. Okay. There we go. Did you create this depiction of the sea god yourself? In the past, the sea god had a burly physique and a beard. I requested the craftsman to make some changes. Does the real sea god have any objections? Not at all. The changes look good. Now I understand how you imagined me before we met. Do you see that seagull? Would you say it resembles the one you sent to the tower? The one that brought me seashells, I mean. Yes, however, that seagull complained about you hurting its ears because you talked too much. It flew to a distant water to recover. I wasn't that talkative. I was bored to death in the tower. I couldn't help myself. Rafayel, you were sealed away for so long. It must have been harder for you than it was for me, yes? Correct. And being able to hear your voice, even when you criticized me, was more interesting than the dreary depths of the ocean. What an awful downpour. Fortunately, we found a cave to take shelter in. Don't stand near the cave's entrance with the wind and rain. Come, help me pick out a couple of stones. When did you carve this? It's beautiful. I did it on a whim. The stone is too brittle for any complex patterns. I want to carve something as well. Will you teach me? I need to see how steady your hands are first. See this small fish? Try to draw it using one continuous line. There we go. What do you think? Have I passed the sea god's trial? Your skill level, I'd say you're better than approximately half of Lemurians. That's harsh. Are all Lemurians master artists? A lot of ember thistles are in full bloom over there. What is it? It's an incredibly hardy flower. Scattered seeds anywhere and you'll end up with a field of them. It's impossible for that to happen in the ocean, especially the deep sea. Even animals struggle to survive there. How will we know if we don't try? Perhaps creatures on land could also thrive in the sea. Here, these are its fruits. I'm unsure if you're setting up the plant for failure or me for disappointment, but alright, I'd like to see the deep sea covered in flowers as well. This mountain path is steep and uneven. Do you need my help? Do I look fragile to you? You never walked on land before, even though your tail can transform into a pair of legs. Yet you've been walking normally this entire time. When did you learn to walk on two legs? Sea gods drink a magical potion that transforms their tail into legs when they go on land for the first time. Was this not mentioned in the myths you've read? If they don't learn how to walk and fail to return to the sea before sunset, they turn into bubbles and disappear into the water. Did you make that up? Would you like to take a guess? Rafayel, look what I found in the boat. A mirror? I'm impressed you managed to find another treasure. Wait, there's a pattern on it. It's damaged. We need to put some effort into discovering what it is. For this one, you just have to swipe on it. This one's pretty simple. Wait, why is it? Okay. The sea god on the mirror looks like you. Did you meet the people on the ship? I don't recall matters such as those. However, I can tell you that the craftsman who made this mirror was kind. He made a carving of my bride because he was worried I'd be lonely. Why are there so many pearl oysters around this reef? What do you think? Should we knock on their doors one at a time? Excuse me, are you the pearl the tome of the sea god spoke of when it said to search for pearls in the deep? Go ahead, don't be too rough when you knock. I'm afraid they might ask their shellfish friends to gather outside your window, and there will be a horde of them with makeshift percussion instruments. I've always wondered how I could breathe underwater ever since I was a child. Is it because I'm the sea god's bride? It's said that a kiss from a Lemurian grants one the ability to breathe underwater. In any case, you're bound to me. Breathing underwater is par for the course. But this is the first time I've swum to a place this deep. Perhaps I should kiss you again to ensure I won't drown. Let's see. If you don't mind the fish, shrimp, jellyfish, and coral watching us, I certainly won't refuse you. Some stone tablets have been preserved. These engravings remind me of the Lemurian language. Even though they're fragments, they might be a mysterious record for something, or a strange incantation perhaps. From the first rainfall's descent to water droplets forming an ocean, I've spent every moment loving you. My apologies, Sir Glenguna. I was unable to complete the assignment you gave me because it's very, very, very difficult. I shall tell Fairy that I like her skills during the sea god ceremony tomorrow. Maybe we shouldn't speak about the private thoughts of your people from thousands of years ago. Why, if anything, you should leave a few words of your own. Then people can spend half a day speculating about it thousands of years from now. What a beautiful underwater garden. Corals and sea anemones. This place is an ideal home for them, but we can only admire them from a distance. Those sea anemones are venomous. I know, yet the manner in which they sway, they must feel soft to the touch. Here. Wait, didn't you say these were poisonous? I did. I also talked to it. It reluctantly agreed to let you hold it. Oh, that's so cool. Are you alright? Yes, but the ocean's current carried me here after the battle. This cave feels almost endless. Where are we? Ah, we've disturbed a rather unfriendly giant. Don't tell me we have another grand battle on our hands. We'll be polite. We don't need to challenge him when we've already trespassed into his home. Let's get out of here before he loses his temper. We finally shook off that giant octopus. Indeed. So, could this little octopus stop clinging to me? Okay, so that's it for Rafayel's myth event, Lost Echoes. And then these other ones were just battles that you could do, but I'm not going to go through those again. So that is it for Rafayel's myth event. I really enjoyed his myth overall. It was really well written, so I had fun going through it all and learning more about Rafayel's past. So that is it for this video. Bye.